I had lunch with a friend the other day who wants to build a restaurant, and but when we got done discussing his idea, which is excellent, he said, Lee, you should put this on your blog and share this with a lot of people. I know a lot of people ask you about what it takes to start a restaurant, what you think the secret sauce, so to speak, is. So, for better or for worse, this is what you pay for it. I thought I'd put this on my blog and share parts of our conversation and hope that it's helpful. As I said, I had a good friend invite me to lunch the other day. He wanted to discuss opening a restaurant. He had a great idea. I guess he came to me because I've opened over 50 restaurants in my career. 35 I started and grew myself with my team. And the rest I either licensed, franchised, or purchased existing going concerns of concepts. I learned a lot from each endeavor. In any event, I guess my friend figured that I would be a good person to talk to. But what was funny is I wasn't sure if he wanted me to talk him into or talk him out of starting his restaurant. But we had a nice lunch, and I shared with him my thoughts at a 50,000 foot view that I can share with you. As a matter of background, he had a good conceptual framework for his menu and decor and market premise. I think he really has a winning conceptual start to his formula. I was impressed with his general premise. I was very impressed. I wish I could share with you his concept, but that would be unfair, as I promised him that I would keep it confidential. Maybe someday we'll be able to share it when it's up and running and a huge success. But for now, and to keep his confidence, what I can share with you is what we discussed regarding what it takes to turn a winning concept into a winning formula and ultimately into a restaurant that makes money and stands the test of time. Now, what I've learned, I learned the hard way, at the school of hard knocks, so to speak. And I certainly didn't want my friend to do the same. I don't want anyone to have to live that if I can share some nuggets along the way that help avoid some of the pitfalls and trials and tribulations that I went through along my way to success in the industry. So I thought I would share on my blog this information in hopes that it helps anyone who is thinking about building a restaurant focus on some areas in this short video that I feel, in my experience, need to be addressed and solved for in order to make your concept go from concept to reality to something that people love, that's profitable, and stands the test of time. Successful restaurants certainly have great food. Without good food, it's kind of a non-starter. They also have a winning value proposition, meaning people feel that what they're paying for is worth it and that the overall menu offering is something that not only tastes good, but is worth what you pay for it. They also tend to have the right location, great service, a fitting decor and ambiance that meets with their concept values, and targeted marketing propositions. And what I've found is that every successful restaurant has a militaristic, and I use that word for a reason and emphasis, a military type system that makes things run on time, run accurately, and run smoothly. History shows that approximately only 1 out of every 10 new restaurants succeed. I believe the key is to understand why the 9 fail and make sure that in your concept you address and solve for these reasons that drive these 9 out of 10 failures. Along the way, I've noticed, and these are just my thoughts, that some don't get the food right. Some get the food right, but don't get the margins right. So they end up selling a lot of product, but it's not profitable enough for them to pay the bills. Others get the food and margins right, but don't have the right location. Or maybe they have the right location, but don't have enough tables, or don't have enough parking, or paid way too much rent, or way too much on their build out, so that even when they make money at the top line, they're not able to overcome their fixed costs. These are all things you have to take into consideration. Others don't focus on working enough on wowing and delighting the customers, and their customers need to be thought of as guests in their home. If this is missing, often great food without what we'd call great service ultimately leads to their downfall. Some forget that even with great systems and training, it all comes down to people. To have a great restaurant that makes money, you have to have great people that believe in you, believe and love your food and your concept, and want to work with you, not for you, in order to make it a reality. Others can't figure out how to keep great people. They find them, they lose them, they either don't have the right benefits, the right personality, the right programs that really say to their people that they're part of the team. That is a critical part of a downfall of a restaurant, is that they hit all the key things we've talked about before right, but don't ever solve for the people part of the business. And it really all comes down to people once you have a winning formula for the food, the rent, the location, the decor, the package. Once that's set, I found that without people that believe and love and embrace what you're doing and feel like they're a part of it and share in the outcomes, share in the profits, share in the results, that ultimately that leads to the difference between success and failure. These things and even more are why even a great concept, the greatest of concept, can fail in the restaurant business industry, at least in my experience. If you can solve for these things, have a great concept, and work extremely hard every day to get a little bit better at solving for each of these things we talked about that lead to the 9 out of 10 failing, you have a great chance that your restaurant will succeed. I hope you found this helpful. I wish you the best of luck in starting your new restaurant. It can be the hardest, most frustrating thing in the world, and it can also be one of the most rewarding and enjoyable businesses out there. So here's to you, wishing you the very best, and looking forward to eating in your new concept for many, many, many years to come. I think that my friend who inspired this video will be there, and I'm sure there's many, many more of you out there who will join him in that success. I hope you found this brief video helpful, and I look forward to dining with you someday in the near future. Thank you.